I don't want to die, says a bunch of talentless hacks cosplaying as comedians because they've been given their instructions now to peddle some more bullshit about climate change. Do you guys remember a while back? Project Veritas did the sting on the CNN staffer who boasted about getting Trump out, and how the COOF ratings are starting to dwindle, and soon they're going to start peddling climate change propaganda because fear sells. Remember that? It's almost as though the entire narrative is a pre-written bunch of bullshit. Oh, there goes me and my cynicism. Now, I'm not even going to read the article, why bother, we already know what it's going to say. A bunch of overpaid shitheads saying we all need to do our part. Funny, your part involves doing absolutely fuck all but standing in front of a camera in a studio lit up like the fucking Vegas Strip and look as vacant as your empty-headed skulls. What a bunch of bullshit. I am far more entertaining than any of these people, because unlike these losers, I don't need to pay a team of writers, a trained audience, or pull a Jeb Bush and say please clap to give the false impression that I'm actually funny. Oh, we'll just give these clowns a moment to recover from the fact that I've just said something wittier than any of them have in over a decade. But getting back to this. The entire progressive worldview is so utterly contradictory and hypocritical, I am fucking amazed it has any followers. How do you claim to follow the science and then listen to a bunch of late-night comedians? They aren't even experts in fucking comedy, let alone climatology. But, like I said before, follow the science is simply a phrase that denotes obedience and has nothing to do whatsoever with science. How this looks from the outside. These figures are attention grabbers. Now, bear in mind they only grab the attention of the idiotic masses, and those of us that will berate them for the hypocrisy and piss-poor takes on, well, just about everything, really. They are preachers, part of a quasi-religious caste, and the slogan of the preachers is, all problems can be solved by the state. Which just goes to show you how stupid the left really are, because the entire shit show that the United States is in right now is exclusively the fault of government. Here is something people need to understand about the intellectual elite of academia that produces the progressive agenda. You can read about this in depth in Thomas Sowell's work, Intellectuals and Society. Academics are often extremely ignorant. They are not driven by data. They are not intellectuals in the sense of people that work with anything physical. Their end products are ideas. Now, the problem with this is their ideas do not have any feedback mechanisms from the real world that get back to them. The merits of their work is how favorably it's viewed by their fellow academics, how interesting it is. There's no personal accolades to be found in the humbling admittance of acknowledging the success of the free market. But if you profess yourself as someone who thinks they can usher in a new era of social justice and change the very climate of Mother Nature, then you are really something. And by being in these institutions, they are baptized into accepting an ideological worldview. You have been blessed with the vision of the anointed, as Thomas Sowell puts it, which is why so many college people are complete idiots who don't think and overwhelmingly vote Democrat. Which is not a surprise. Democrats are known for outsourcing any laborious task, and evidently thinking is now a task that requires too much effort, which is why they relinquish all thought to the state and blindly obey it without question, because the institutions have taught them to do so. And because government now leans heavily into these institutions, thereby pumping power into them, the creation of the cathedral, you have a legion of uppity ivory tower dwellers who can cause catastrophic damage to society and pay no price for it. Good example is Fauci. And because they're obsessed with power and prestige, they hate competing knowledge and anyone who questions their authority. I remember Jordan Peterson saying, one thing he noticed that was rather pervasive among academics is their contempt for books. Now, given their desperate lust for power, that position becomes rather obvious. And we already know climate change is a bunch of crap, mainly because government thinks they can solve it, and the science has been settled. CO2 is not the main driver of climate change because the climate change happened before the CO2 increase. So you can't say A causes B if B happens before A. And that's all for today. Until next time.